So for me, this team has not improved. And whether that comes down to Ten Hag and whether it comes down to the recruitment team, it looks like to me Ten Hag's in control of what he wants. So if he knew what United were lacking last season, why isn't there why is this hesitancy to kind of say, you know what, we don't need this player, we don't need that player? And he looks at that midfielder and thinks, you know what, Mason Mount was the only improvement I needed in that midfield.
The best transition teams, the best counter-attacking teams in the world. What makes you a good counter-attacking team? Decision making.
Well, there you go.
That's what it does. We don't have that. So we can't be a good transition team. It's impossible because the difference is, when you play in transition, you need players in areas to make the right pass, the right weight of pass, the right choice of pass. Because, bro, if you're going to play the majority of the game without the football, when you do get the football, you have to make it count, bro. Do you know what I mean? Make a miss, make them pay, bruv. Do you know what I mean? And we don't make teams pay, bruv. And the problem that I have is, people can say, all right, cool. First season, we were just focusing on getting results because he didn't have his players. Now he's got more players and there's still nothing. And the thing is, good coaches implement their philosophy on the ball first. Do you know what I mean? You're seeing it with Tottenham. Tottenham look vulnerable off the ball, yes, but on the ball, you can kind of see what the manager wants to do. Why is it, that on the ball, Man United don't even have a style, bro? On the ball, bro. Look at De Zerbi. All these guys, as soon as they go in, on the ball is the first thing that you coach. The first thing. Why is it that people are saying, the reason why we're conceding these goals is because off the ball, the players don't know what to do. Bro, on the ball, they don't know what to do, fam.
On the ball, they don't know what to do, yeah. First of all, on the ball, they don't know what to do at the moment. It's like a hot potato. It's like a grenade. And also, let me just call it for what it is. The players ain't good enough either. The retention in the whole team is poor. You look at the midfield. Casemiro's playing this deep line playmaker role we've never had to do. We've got him now trying to orchestrate the whole, the pianos and everything. He's never played that. He's normally been next to Cruz or Modric. They've done the, the passing and moving, and he just sniffs the danger and then gives it. Now Ten Hag's like, Casemiro, you're going to be my guy that's going to sit deep. You're going to pick up the ball from the back four, and you're going to play it through the lines and all that. If you've watched Casemiro, guys, yes, he's a sick player, but you all know what he's good at. And not passing through the lines, that's not his lane, unfortunately. And that's just what it is. A spade's a spade. And we're trying to make him do something he's never done now at 31 years of age. That bothers me. And then you've got two cannonballs in midfield, which is Mason Mount and Bruno Fernandes, that don't know how to retain a ball. Look at the game against Wolves. That's the perfect example. Every time the ball was fizzed into him on the half 10, João Gomez, Nunes, all these players pinching the ball off him, bullying them physically, by the way, as well, and then running back to us at the other end. And Casemiro is then got to do covering 30, 40 yards, and we know he also can't run. So by the time he then wins the ball back and gives it again and they lose it like cannonball, he's got to do the same thing over and over. And I'm not getting onto Casemiro, right? What I'm saying is Ten Hag and these players are exposing Casemiro to his weaknesses, and we're not seeing the strengths that we saw last season when, yes, I might not like it as much, but, Eriksen was next to him. He was just calm on the ball and allowed us just to keep it a little bit, even though we weren't amazing. So, the personnel of what we've got at the moment and with the football of the technical side of it, it's just not matching up at the moment. And I just think at the moment, it's a car crash. I said this on Saeed's stream yesterday, Rants, that when Ten Hag came in, I was all for it. I think all you man were for it as well. I mean, everyone was like, yes, Ten Hag, we've actually gone away from maybe going for that typical name or whatever. We've got Ten Hag coming and, he's done his thing at Ajax. When I watched him at Ajax, they were much more secure in the ball. They kept the ball well. They got to a semi-final of a Champions League and they won their league, which, yes, I get it. They're expected to win their league. But when he came into Man United, the best football, I'm going to tell you the truth, man, the best football I've seen us play at Manchester United since Ten Hag come in was the pre-season he first had when it was Martial, Sancho, and Rashford. That was actually the best football.
No. Yeah, but that's still our best front three, though.
It's our best front three.
It still is our best front three until we see what Højlund does.
I agree. It's our best front three, and that's the best football we played when he actually first came in. We was actually keeping the ball a bit better. Since then, it's actually probably regressed. So for me, what I feel like Ten Hag's done, right, is he came out and said, we want to be the best transition team in the Premier League and high energy. And I said on Saeed's stream, right, he's never really done that type of football. That's Jurgen Klopp football. When he come on from Dortmund, he's done that for 5-6 years at Dortmund, and then he's bringing that to Liverpool because he knows what he's doing. Ten Hag, you're coming into the Premier League and now saying you want to change into transition football and this high energy thing and that, and you've never really been based on it. You don't learn that you don't come to Premier League to learn that and try and change that. So Ten Hag's actually teaching the football players now at our club a philosophy he's never gone out and really taught. And this is at the highest clubs of Man United. So when Ten Hag is basically saying he wants to do this and that, he's learning on the job, and now the players are learning on the job. So basically, everyone's learning on the job. He is
learning on the job because obviously being in the Premier League is tough as well. But when you look at his two Ajax teams, and I've been making this point, and people who watch much more of Ajax than I did, look at the first team who you mentioned who reached the semi-final. That was the technical side. You know what I'm saying? That was the possession-based side. Go and look at the second team that he built at Ajax. It's similar to this. It wasn't technical possession-based. If you go look at the midfielders he had in there, I believe it was Alvarez, Klaassen, who was in there. I can't remember another name of a midfielder.
Maybe
it was much more... Might have been
Gravenberch.
Yeah, that's the point that I'm making. Is this is much more similar to his second style. Where Ten Hag has messed up with this Manchester United side is the attacking signings. Mount, Anthony. It's not even the style of football I look at. It's the players he's bought. And I said this on here. I spoke to Saeed in depth about this. I think we was on here with Rants talking about goals and creativity. You already know what it is. I said Mount was a horrible signing. We already lacked goals and creativity before we signed Mason Mount. We scored 58 league goals last season. And all we've added is Mason Mount. So it's not a surprise to me that we're struggling going forward. And obviously Anthony's looking like a miss as well. And then you add in the fact of no striker because Højlund's not playing. It's not, and then you took our only goal threat from last season and are now playing him central. Ten Hag just made a bag of mistakes. That's why the Mount injury, like my boy Peter said this yesterday, is now going to force him to play a more balanced midfield. He's been saved being under major scrutiny because whoever he plays in the midfield is going to look better.
But you know what the mad thing is, Yeah,
go on.
Like, what does he do when Mount's fit? Because no doubt we'll improve. Question. Even playing McTominay in there makes us more balanced. Makes us more balanced. And the thing is, Cass has never been a sitting midfielder, bro. If I'm correct, he might have been our highest scoring midfielder last season.
He was. I think he might.
Him and Fred.
Might have been him and Bruno.
Bruno was there. Bruno was well there.
Yeah, I think Fred scored a few. Do you know what I mean? But
Fred scored a few.
I think that Casemiro was our highest scoring midfielder last season. Definitely from open play for sure. You know, like that. So it's one of them ones where the guy is not a sitter, bro. He's never been a sitter, and he actually attacks set pieces very well. He gets into the box very well. Like he scored an overhead kick, like I think on the last day of the season or something. This is not the guy that you have sitting conducting the orchestra. This is not the guy. He's never been that. He's more of an 8 than a 6. Do you know what I'm saying? He's more of an 8 than a 6, but because he's combative, he gets thrown in the same box that N'Golo Kante got thrown in. N'Golo Kante has never been a 6. He's never been a 6, bro. Like, he's a box-to-box, but he's a combative player that breaks up the play. And Casemiro is a similar kind of player, but he's better technically, but he's got less mobility. That's just all it is, but they're a similar kind of player. They play between both boxes.
Yep.
Do you know what I'm saying?
My thing is,
and he's got him playing the deep role. This is what I don't get. And the problem for me as well is that your point of Mason Mount, by the way, obviously you're saying, what does he do with Mason Mount when he comes back? The solution is that midfield is not going to work. The Bruno Mount and Casemiro midfield is not going to work. I think we've seen enough in 2 games to feel that, like, I know that's not going to be fixed. It lacks physicality. Like, we get bullied. You look at Man City and you compare it to Kovacic and Nunes. They're potentially getting. They've got Rodri, De Bruyne, Foden, Bernardo. They're physical specimens as well as athletes. They could actually bully you over. You look at Arsenal where they've got Havertz. I know that, yes, people don't like him, but Havertz is still tall and, you know, rangy. You've got Thomas Partey in there. You've got Declan Rice. Like, they've got a bit of avenue there. You've got Casado, Lavia. You've got Tonali, Bruno Guimaraes, Joe Linton. You look at these teams, right? You've got Sarr and Basuma bodying us up last week. You look at all our rivals and you look at them and think, you know what? They've got something about them. They've got a bit of steel. Us lot, man, it's like a bit of pancakes, man. A bit of, you know, them things you get when you order a Chinese crackers. You could just crack us open. Real talk. You could just
but the manager built this, though. The manager built this.
This is my problem. This is my problem, Ransom. My issue here is Saeed came on the show and said, if we get 2 midfielders, we'll be all right. Cool. I understand that. And everyone
will he play them?
But we shouldn't even be in the last week of August saying that we still need 2 midfielders. And the fact that we still need to, the first midfielder that Ten Hag wants to go out and get is Mason Mount. Now, we argued about it, me, you, and Flawless, and I said, you know what? I was for the signing and I understood it because there's receipts there. But I said, I understood it if we got someone in. That was over that was before my holiday.
I even said, as long as he's not the only midfield signing, I could
get it.
Yeah, I could allow it.
Even him with somebody else is kind of like, why are we having a gimme? Why are we having a signing? We're signing and going, all right, alongside something else. Like, this is not a dish.
Really be
this is not a meal. Like, we don't need, why do we need something else to complete this meal? Like, go and get a player, buy him. Like, if we would have just, if we would have just went and signed Amrabat, there's no conversation about, well, if we sign Amrabat with such and such, that improves it. No, Amrabat stands alone. Or whoever, whatever midfielder you want to go and get. Like I said from the, Mason Wheels, and he just made a mistake. Now it's going to be interesting to see, like Rant said, what he does indeed do once Mount is back fit. Because I don't know what this injury is, because they're saying 4 to 6 weeks. It's going to be very interesting when he does indeed come back, because everybody's been saved in that scenario. Mason Mount's been saved because it's been poor performances. Ten Hag's been saved making a decision, whether that's to move your captain out wide or move your big money signing out wide and admit that you make a mistake. So he has been saved in that aspect. So now it's going to be interesting to see.
I don't want to see either of them on the wing, and Mount or Bruno.
I want to see either of them on the pitch, but here we are.
Yeah,
it's kind of damning though, man. It's kind of damning though that the thing is we don't have no outfield players possibly for Nottingham Forest and Arsenal. You don't know when this Højlund brother's going to come back. I'm hearing reports that it might not be against Nottingham Forest, it might not be against Arsenal.
They're saying this till September, like they're saying after the international break thing now, apparently.
So we don't know. For me, that's damning. Not to have.
Bro, how the hell did we sign an injured player, blood, and we didn't even know?
Bro, we got another one coming. The Turkey guy, you know, the keeper from Turkey. Apparently, he's got a back injury as well. So it's another one that bro. So I don't know if it's one of them. Yeah, you know when you get these reused things, you know them control pads, that you just go and get that reused from CX. That's what we're doing right now. We're just going getting the remote controls. But listen, I just think for me, this idea that we're the best transition team, I don't really see even that. I'll be honest with you. You might see it for 10 minutes, but how can you have a team that's best transition, but it's only for 45 minutes? I'm not.
Bro, it's not even. It's not even 45 minutes.
You
know.
Hey,
bro. Do you know one thing that people don't understand that makes the best transition teams? The best transition teams, the best counter-attacking teams in the world. What makes you a good counter-attacking team? Decision making.
Well, there you go.
That's what it does. We don't have that. So we can't be a good transition team. It's impossible because the difference is, when you play in transition, you need players in areas to make the right pass, the right weight of pass, the right choice of pass. Because, bro, if you're going to play the majority of the game without the football, when you do get the football, you have to make it count, bro. Do you know what I mean? Make a miss, make them pay, bruv. Do you know what I mean? And we don't make teams pay, bruv. We don't. We don't have guys that make the right decisions in the right moments. Therefore, it's a stupid way. You're better off playing volume football and keeping the ball as much as possible and just keep going again and again and again and going that way. Because we don't have decisive players in the final third to be letting the other team have the ball, bro. We're not built like that.
And on top of the decision making and our attacking, our offensive players being poor, which we did see all last season. Also, what we lack, pace and power, which you also need. Athletes, like Ty mentioned. That's what
Højlund come in for.
Like, that's why Højlund, I understood. That's why Mount, people get mistaken on Mount's just energetic. You can be energetic without being athletic or without being agile. And when you put Mount and Bruno in there, yes, they're both energetic and both will run around. None of them are athletic. None of them quick, none of them powerful, none of them agile. They don't tick any physical attributes apart from stamina, that's it, and energy. That's all they'll give you, hard work. And like I said, the manager's just messed up. He has to rectify that now. We have until the transfer window closes to rectify this and go and get 2 midfielders and then see where we end up. Because we've seen what he did last season when the midfield was balanced. And then you add in a Højlund so we actually have a striker. And even if he lands and he's average, okay, that's an improvement on what we had last year. And then we go from there.
Even last year, when you look at last year, I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't really like it towards the end. I'd say from February onwards.
It's horrid.
It was horrid, man. From February onwards, it was patchy. You had Eriksen's legs. He had an injury, never really recovered. Fred was doing a job in there. But you had Sabitzer coming in, and listen, Sabitzer, he had the output in terms of maybe the hearing gut, but he got injured as well, so he was injury prone. So it was still a mashup of
he didn't even get a fair shake, and we got rid of him and brought in Mason Mount, who is not better than him.
Well, there you go then. That's what I'm trying to say. And for me, when I was at the FA Cup final game, and I left that stadium, I said Man United needed 5 to 7 starters to go into the team. As of right now, there's only one starter, and that's Onana, as of fit yet. So for me, this team has not improved. And whether that comes down to Ten Hag, and when it comes out to the recruitment team, it looks like to me Ten Hag's in control of what he wants. So if he knew what United were lacking last season, why isn't there why is this hesitancy to kind of say, you know what, we don't need this player, we don't need that player, and he looks at that midfielder and thinks, you know what, Mason Mount was the only improvement I needed in that midfield. Because if you wanted another one, he would have got one by now. For me, if he looked at my field, he would have got one. But is he looking at players like McTominay and Ericsson as guys who are there as cover? And I'm like, bro, it ain't gonna work, man. It ain't. And that
made
for
mistakes,
me,
Saeed.
I always look at
That's what it
midfield
is.
as the heartbeat of the team.
That's what it is, Saeed.
Yeah,
Just sorry to cut you off. He made a mistake. That's what it is with the Mount thing. Like, he thought Mount was a good signing and it would work.
I think he's insisting on Mount.
That's what I'm saying. No. I'm saying when I say he made a mistake, I'm talking about him wanting Mount and signing Mount. That's Ten Hag signing without doubt. I'm not disputing that. I'm saying he made a mistake in approaching and purchasing Mount. Now he has to rectify that. It's a bad miss.